Hey everybody, welcome back to the homestead. My name is Emily. Today I am going, goodness, uh, today I am going to be taking these apart somewhat and then putting them back together, hopefully to make some sort of compost bin system. What I'd really like to have is pallets, and these are sort of pallet-esque, but the slats are so far apart. My plan is to take off these pieces and then replace them with more of this size piece going across the middle, so then there will be smaller gaps between the slats, more like a traditional pallet. Because as it stands, this is not going to hold any sort of material inside of it, which would defeat the purpose of having a compost bin. It would all just fall out. So that's the plan for now. So I'm going to start taking these apart and we'll see where the day takes us. And yes, I am in a sweatshirt in July. It is beautiful. I'm so excited about this day. The high is 70, but it is in the high 50s right now. It is glorious. Definitely seasonably cold or unseasonably cold, but I am not complaining. Because it has been crazy, unseasonably hot for our area the entire summer, including the end of spring. So this is a beautiful day, and I'm going to take advantage of it as much as I possibly can to do some outside work without sweating so much. The youngest is teaching her cousin to play with the cat, which this is a new cat. If you haven't been here with us, we have Daisy, who's like a white and orange cat, and this is Hazel. We recently adopted her. She's just gotten to the point where we can let her out of the barn, but she doesn't have the best survival instincts when the dogs are around, so we got to keep an eye out for the dogs because the dogs and the cats are still not friends yet. They coexist pretty well, but as long as they stay away from each other. So this is Hazel. She's very pretty.
Oh yeah, she has beautiful green eyes.
She doesn't want you to cup her face.
No.
You show us your pretty eyes? I think she just said no. She and Daisy are not completely getting along either. They still hiss at each other a little bit when they get too close, but they're doing okay. They're getting better. They'll eventually be friends. And I think since Hazel isn't completely terrified of the dogs, we might actually be able to get the dogs and the cats to be more friendly, but that's going to take a lot of time and intentional interaction between them with us mediating. You checking out my project, Hazel? Time got away from me. I realized that I need to feed this little one some lunch, and then we have to go to the summer reading program. So hopefully we'll be back at this afternoon. The section I'm working on, the top board and the bottom board are both rotten, so I'm gonna dig through this pile to see if one of those in the back has better board, so we're not taking off too many unnecessary things. That one that I just pulled out looks pretty good, so I'm going to work on taking off the short pieces between on that one instead of the other one, and then I'll probably take off the long pieces on that one and put them on this one here. We're aiming for 2 long ones and 2 short ones, so these ones over here will probably end up being part of the short ones. It's the next day and another beautiful, cool day. The high today is supposed to get to 77, so it's going to be warmer than yesterday. But right now it's in the high 60s, and I'm going to get started on this. My husband and I decided we'd divide and conquer today. He's going to work on firewood, and I am going to work on this because it got to a point where we both needed the crowbar at the same time, and we weren't really able to both be working at the same time. So I'm going to work on this, and he's going to work on that today. At this point, you've probably realized that I had gotten behind on editing and posting my videos, and that has a lot to do with my 3-year-old niece being here visiting. She's out here playing with a ball right now. Well, I'm gonna work on this. And so I don't have a lot of time to sit and be on my phone editing videos. So yeah, I'll get back to it when she goes back to her mom, which will be, from now, it's another about another week that she'll be here. 3 weeks total, and it's lovely having her here. It's a lot of fun. It definitely changes up my schedule, and so, we have to do breakfast at a certain time, and nap time, and lunch, and all that stuff. But we're adapting, and by the time I get used to it, she will go home, and I'll have to get used to going back to what I was doing before. But now, let's get to work.
I was too far away.
You were.
I was falling back up.
Gotten to a transition point where I think I'm basically finished taking things apart, for the most part at least. There are a couple rotten boards on the smaller two pieces that there's a rotten board and then one that's broken off a little short that I may end up taking off and replacing if I have enough other pieces to replace them with. So that last one that I was taking apart down there, we're thinking we're going to cut that one and it will be one of the end pieces, and then this would be the other end piece, and then this one would go in the middle, and so maybe it won't matter that that piece is a little short. But I have to go through the boards here and figure out, like, there's a couple in here that should be long enough. Figure out which ones I can use and then cut everything to the appropriate length and then see where we're at from there. There is one more of these pellets down by the woodshed, and so if I need a few more boards I can go down there and grab that. I'd pulled it down there to be another pellet for wood to stack on. Of course, the slats are kind of far apart in places, so it's not ideal. But we never did end up using that one yet, so I can go down there and get some pieces from that if absolutely necessary. I'm going to start with what's up here and we'll see how far we get. This one still has a screw in it I need to take out. Oh, so does this one. It's got 2 screws. Most of these screws have been really bent up and twisted. Not really sure why, but they're kind of a pain to get out. Look at that thing. I need pliers for that one. I do need to go down there to the wood shed and take apart that other pallet because I need 5 more boards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I need 5 more boards, not including replacing that one that is broken off a little short. So I'm going to head in and take a little break. It's kind of past lunchtime. I already got the niece down. She had lunch and then she's down for a nap. I need to wake her up in a few minutes. So I'm going to go eat real quick so we can wake her up so she'll sleep tonight. And then head down to the woodshed. So I will see you there. Here I am behind the woodshed. We've got this one. That's not going to be enough. And then there's that one. The slats are too wide to hold the stuff that we were stacking on there anyway, so I'm going to move all of that over there. And then he's working on chainsawing some wood that's too long to chop, so we can stack it. Oh, he stacked all this today. That was from a few days ago we were working, and so he started stacking here. I don't know why he left a gap. I'll have to talk to him about that later. I'll have to ask him about that when he's not using the chainsaw, because it's obviously too loud to hold a conversation right now. But I'm gonna put you on a time lapse and get all this little bitty odd size stuff moved. It is now after dinner. I needed the drill for this next pallet because on both ends it is secured with screws. I was able to talk to my husband about this stack of wood, and it's stuff that we think needs to be split, but he wasn't able to split it because of the awkward shape, or there's a knot or something like that. So this is temporarily here, but he's over there stacking all the stuff that he's worked on today, and I'm gonna work on hopefully getting this taken the rest of the way apart today, and then tomorrow probably I'll be putting together the compost bins. Yeah, I have maybe like half an hour to be out here before I have to go put the little one to bed. Hopefully I can at least get this thing taken apart tonight. You can put my hammer and my crowbar in there.
You have it.
Yeah.
Where's the hammer?
Right here.
Oh. I can put the hammer in there?
Yep.
Why? Oh, it's so heavy.
Yep, it is.
I'm trying to put it on my hand.
Whoa, don't hit yourself in the head. No, back the wrong way.
Where do I put it? Yeah.
Put it in the wagon. Just inside, not on top of the wood. Put it down in the bottom. Yeah.
Under. I got it.
Okay, go get my other tool.
Yellow.
Yep,
What's that?
it's a pry bar.
Why? Why is this?
Pry thing.
Put it in here.
Or you saw me pulling the piece of the wood apart with it? Thank you. Okay. You gonna bring your tools?
Yes.
Get your tools.
What's the first one?
Okay, well grab your shovel and your bucket.
I'm not going to bring my.
You're not gonna bring the bucket?
I'm not gonna
Just the
bring
shovel? Alright. You wanna put it in the wagon too?
Yeah. Where's my phone?
Where'd you leave it?
Did you take it in the house?
No.
I don't know where it is.
Is it outside? No.
Well, we'll find it eventually. It's pink, and we can't lose it for long out here. Nothing else is pink out here except that bucket. Okay?
That bucket is pink.
It is pink. You found it! Yay!
Ah.
Here are all the finished pieces, and it's going to be the end, the front, the back, and the middle. We'll go between those two. I did decide I am going to take this board off because it's pretty rotten and looks pretty bad, and replace it with this board, which still is a little rotten but not nearly as bad, and this section here will be what I use, so that looks a whole lot better because it is going here right along the driveway, and it'll be seen. It would be nice if someday I was able to get to like pressure washing this off and repainting it and putting something pretty on it. We'll see if that ever happens because there's so many other things to do, but it's definitely on my mind right now as this is about to be put together. However, at this particular moment, I need to go in and get my niece down for her nap, and then I need to go grocery shopping. So hopefully I'll be able to get out here and finish building this afternoon or evening, probably evening. Then it'll be complete because tomorrow I need to start focusing on prepping for chicken butchering because we're doing that Monday. It's Saturday right now. Tomorrow I'm gonna get everything ready, and then Monday we're gonna do the deed. I've got some family coming in from out of town that's gonna help, and that's gonna be awesome. There's only 13 birds, so it's gonna be pretty quick work. But I want to be prepared so we can get it done without any delay and any problems. So hopefully we'll be back out here pretty soon to finish this project. And here is the finished product. I just put a couple screws in each side just to hold it together, and when we want to put chicken bedding in there, which we definitely do very soon, I'll just take off one of the end caps or the front or the back depending on if we want both sections available or not. And then we have 2 bins for compost. It's not the prettiest thing, but it looks a little better than just having the sort of pallet things leaned up against the side of the barn. And now we have a place to put compost instead of just a pile. Made a pile right there where that really tall grass is last year, and it didn't work. The chickens scratched through it, the dogs scratched through it, and then the grass grew through it, and maybe the grass will also grow through this. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll throw some cardboard down in the bottom before we start piling in chicken bedding, but that, was not ideal. We weren't able to really use any of it. I tried, but it wasn't broken down well enough, and it was so full of grass that I just couldn't really dig it out. But this, it will at least be contained. The chickens will have to jump in there to dig in there. The dogs won't be able to dig in there. And so, if the chickens jump up in there, the stuff should mostly stay. There are, holes. It's not solid, so stuff will fall out a little bit, but it shouldn't be too bad. This cost nothing. I got these pallets for free from someone off Facebook Marketplace. I used almost all nails and screws that I took out from taking these apart and reused them, and we used just a few new screws that we just already had in the barn from a different project, probably the chicken tractor. So I think it looks pretty awesome for something free. Thank you for hanging out with us these past few days while we tackled this project, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye!